man, I want to send a congratulations to TZ Von, Savage, and Jay Lava for their 500th episode of Keep It P podcast. B1 to you players.
Jay Lava, television, network, the whole fucking 9 yards, you know what I'm saying?
For being their fans coming from P. You know what I mean? So make sure you check out the Keep It P podcast. This is me telling you. P, SP the Ghost LOXD blog. And congratulations once again, TZ Vaughn, Savage, and Jay Lava. Love is love. Ghost Soldier. So, yeah.
Keep it P, man. From the P mouth to yourself. The Bishop Don Master Chairman of the Board of Famous Players. Everywhere you dig church.
Early in the morning, wake yo goat mouth ass up. Y'all know it's the fly. Wake yo goat mouth ass up.
Music to that, right?
I mean, I be trying to tell you. I swear I be trying to tell you, but y'all don't believe fat meat is greasy. But guess what? There's one thing that does remain true. This is the Keep It P podcast, and we take news, situations, everyday occurrences, and we show how one could and could not have been keeping it P. I'm almost flabbergasted by this last article you just sent me. But go ahead and lace them with some game, because I think there's something that they need in their souls and in their lives that you could probably help them with.
Hashtag fortherecorddoe.
Okay.
Hashtag FTRD. TZ Von Savage in the place to be. Sucker MC.
Yay, yay!
Yay, yay! Self-hug, self-love. That's a beatbox and a b-boy stance. You may have thought that was corny.
Mighta.
But what's even more corny is if we let the culture die, y'all.
Can't do that. Turn your glasses down, because I'm hearing my feedback.
And stop saying it's not black people music.
Because it is. It is. So... then... Okay. All right, here goes some splainage. Here we go. All right, I got it. I'm with this. It says the Washington Times. They made a mistake. NYC crime wave triggers rethink of racial justice changes. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
First of all, y'all wasn't thinking about doing nothing in the first place. Second of all, here y'all come with the shenanigans, huh? So it says
Banana gristles.
New York, stray bullets in Times Square and widespread violence in the city are invoking New York's darkest days, forcing leaders to fine-tune recent changes to policing and rethink revolving door policies that send prisoners back to the zip codes where they committed the crimes. The debate is playing out amidst a mayoral race that could pit a retired police captain against a GOP nominee who's been a public safety advocate for decades. The New York Police Department Benevolent Association's lobby says that the anti-police rhetoric is driving cops and detectives to quickly seek early retirement. Good, get the fuck out of here. Sorry, y'all.
You destroy the whole thing.
Dang.
The slave patrol.
It's weakening their ability to fight the crime wave. No, it's not. It's making them not be able to indulge in tyrannical, beast-like behavior on citizens. But a reversal of a New York bill reform tops their wish list. Uh-oh. They say the bill reforms enacts a state level in June 2020 to help defendants who can't afford release pending trial are handcuffing judges who want to keep dangerous suspects locked up. So hold on, what are they saying here? Because that's kind of confusing. It says they say the bill reforms and act at state level in January 2020 to help defendants who cannot afford release pending trial. Oh, okay. So basically they're saying cutting out the bail thing, because the bail was used as a form of money imprisonment, I guess, because if you don't, for the people who don't got the money to bail out, that's unfair for the people who do due to economic hardships, blah, 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 blah.
I always thought that was the case because I haven't been found guilty of nothing. So
Right.
I gotta sit there for 2 years to wait for trial on something that could be fake, made up,
Right.
what have you.
Right. I definitely get that. See, I didn't even look at it like that, but you're totally right. It goes on to say, no one is being held in jail, and there's a tremendous amount of guns on the street. President of the New York Detectives Endowment Association. They've enacted laws, and now they're not man enough to change them back to the way that it should be. They made the mistake. No, it's not a mistake. They're just trying to put the clamp down as far as they can on people. Brooklyn resident Carmen Lane said that she thinks the courts needs to toughen again so dangerous people aren't released onto the streets. Dog whistle, dog whistle, dog whistle.
So what's the point of prison if there's no rehabilitation?
Well, who is the dangerous people you talking about? Is it the people that you the homeless guys that y'all paid to perpetuate all the Asian crimes? Is that what you're talking about? Those dangerous people? Because I agree.
Or is it y'all that was doing the real Asian crime? Or is it y'all that we just did articles every week that's killing your kids?
Oh yeah, probably that. Probably the latter. I'd probably say the latter. I think the court should go back to being strict, to going to be the strict people they're supposed to be. There are too many people dying on the streets, Miss Lane told the Washington Times when
I agree.
When strolling along 7th Avenue in Chelsea on a recent weekday. She said too many felons are being let out on technicalities, citing a convict who was released 3 times and ended up killing his mother. Well, that's the person that y'all hired to go assault the Asian woman outside of the hotel. I know what you're talking about while you're trying to be slick.
Right. Y'all let fam out just to do that.
Right. Hold them accountable, she said. There's been more than 826 shooting victims in 718 shooting incidents in New York since the start of the year. That's a 36% rise in victims over the same year.
You mean hold them accountable like in Kentucky when the white dude ran up on the little black girl 8 years old and bit skin up out of her and raped her and killed her and then didn't do no jail time?
Or
you mean hold them accountable like that?
Or what about the guy that just recently killed like 6 Asian women at 2 different parlors because he had a bad day? That kind of thing, maybe?
Or the police that on a regular basis shoot Black Americans for no apparent reason? You mean accountable like that?
Oh, no, not that kind of accountability, because they can't be held accountable, obviously.
Oh, not that kind of, but that's the real accountability. So you're not really talking about that accountability. Okay.
So burglary is down 24%, making it a bit of an anomaly, but grand larceny of automobiles is up 25%. Oh.
I wonder who steals cars.
The triads, Yakuza. Statistics aren't as bad as the dark days that span the 70s to the 90s. For example, 212 murders to the date were worse than 189 recorded in the same period last year. But however, near to peace that laid in 2,260 murders in the 90s, or nearly 650 in 2001. God damn. Still, police and residents say conditions are deteriorating. That's because the police are slacking off and letting everybody do what they want to do so that there can be a public outcry for the cops. But the funny thing is, nobody's really saying that they need more police. They're just making it up.
You know what's so funny? All the high numbers that they just mentioned, wasn't that during the stop and frisk time? Wasn't that during all these laws you're saying bring them back? Wasn't that happening during those times?
And wasn't it true that stop and frisk didn't yield any high crime or anything? If anything, it showed that the white people that they actually happened to stop actually had shit going on with them. None of the brothers and none of the Hispanics or nothing like that really had shit going on. So it was a failed project. We haven't seen this many shootings since the early 2000s, said Joseph, a retired NYC police sergeant. There's no more deterrence. The bad guys aren't afraid of the police anymore. Anyone gets bailed out, and it's a revolving door. We have more rules against police than we do against criminals. You sound like a little batch.
Well, that ain't what Snoop Dogg said, because Snoop Dogg said we're scared.
Man, this article has like a lot of explainage. There's a lot of paragraphs that I'm not finna read, but I'll take it to like the last 5 or 6. It says, Mr. Adams, who stands the best chance of emerging from the Democratic primary and succeeding Mr. de Blasio, is trying to balance the support for police with the progressive demands for reform in the wake of George Floyd's murder, blah, 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 blah. On the bail issue, Mr. Adams told MSNBC, while some suspects awaiting trial are needlessly detained, there are too many people being released that are dangerous. Oh, so black people, y'all heard what he said. Basically, the black people that's getting detained and getting released are dangerous ones, but obviously if you rape somebody or you kill your kids and all that, then you can get a low bond and get out. He opposes police chokeholds generally, but said the city's diaphragm law didn't take into account certain scenarios, such as an officer wrestling a suspect to protect civilians. See, he's saying he's cool with the knee on the neck.
See?
On reform, he's looking at appointing the first female police commissioner to add black and brown officers to diversify. We don't want them because they kuna matatas. We already know what the deal is. You do it all the time.
You lost me when you said I'm looking to get more more colored people, and you went right to a female.
Right. He also wants to publicize a list of cops being monitored for bad behavior while giving community boards a chance to approve veto precinct commanders. Sounds like some explaining too. Claudia, a longtime Manhattan resident, says she's back Mr. Adams in his election and appreciates his pursuit of a well-rounded approach to public safety. We don't need people who are in prison for smoking a joint, but there are certain levels of crime, right? She said. She said New York is in the post-pandemic, but there are occasional reminders of the dark days that hunted us in 1977. So basically, they keep referencing to that, trying to be like, remember when the darkies ran wild around the city and Giuliani had to clean it up? And you don't see a higher incidence of crime and frightening in that sense, but hopefully with the elections, maybe things will turn a bit. The city goes through phases. Miss Sweeler and Mr. Adams is too hung up on satisfying both sides in the campaign, citing his Democratic rival's support for eliminating qualified immunity that protects cops against lawsuits. They are not going to be provocative as long as they know every time they physically make a move, they can be sued. Well, that's exactly what should happen. Punishment.
That's the point.
See, they are so against that. Last two paragraphs. It says, Mr. Giamacco said the unit was performing well, but politicians don't want the police involved in dealing with the homeless. The city shifted to work to social services agencies in mid-2020 and meant sometimes a better debate around fair policing that unfolded in urban centers in Washington. See, it seems like they're like, y'all told us to stop killing mentally ill people, so we just can't do nothing no more. Yeah,
right.
As long as it'd be okay if we could just kill them like we used to. I'm hoping that Eric Adams, with his police experience, has the sense to get this back on track, he said. Whenever it comes to only our 4 to 6 months to get this straightened out, it's going to get worse and people are going to die. Boy, oh boy. I mean, most of the crime is PC people jacked up on fentanyl and meth. So, crackheads don't exist no more.
Or your prescription drugs.
Gangbangers is too cowardly and pussy. They ain't shooting nobody but themselves. I know y'all ain't tripping. I know you ain't tripping on no black on black crime. Ain't tripping off that. I mean, I guess what? Because all the areas are starting to get gentrified. Now they getting worried and shit like that. Like, I don't know, man. It's the black people. It doesn't seem like we have any candidates that are rooting for our interests at all. So I would say you might want to be a little hasty with that vote. This time we need to show them as a block that we move as a group. We on code, which hence means the million on code digital march that we are going to pioneer here at Keep It P Podcast. Our goal is to get 1 million people on code unified for one common cause. In this particular case, first out the gate, it is to start the B1 News Network, Black First News, 24/7, 7 days a week, what BET should have been, because we're bold enough to do it. And we're looking for support from grassroots, and it's gonna be all blackity black, hiring black, everything as black as we can goddamn make it. There's obviously there's gonna have to be some. If we can help it, ain't gonna be no nothing with nothing. We trying to keep it all internal, because I feel like that there's a non Kuna Matata FBA black person that should be able to fill every position that a network has.
Period.
There should be one.
Period.
And even if that means, we gotta, build our own listing agency, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we can gather all the black support and all the black businesses. And I think that's probably something that we should probably invest into, a ultimate black directory, you know what I'm saying? With, a way for them to keep it updated, an app or something like that. But definitely.
I mean, supposedly we have many of these items, but I never hear about them, or I never see them.
Right.
I don't know. There's supposed to be tons of different Facebook groups, different apps that are available, but no one ever says nothing about them.
Yeah.
You don't promote them, you don't share them, but when that new NBA young boy comes out, or when the new Jordan Falcon 6s come out, you do know that. You do know when the new Marvel movies coming out. You know that, though.
I would agree. Well, we ain't gonna hold y'all. We do these kind of stories just so that you I mean, the targeting is coming from all over the place. So all my people in New York, hold your head, stay up. All my people around the world, keep your head on swivel. Jason Black just broke down a pivotal case, that one down in Texas that happened on the highway. Basically, it's a big old dog whistle to say that the purge and, shooting black people is on, and the state is going to back you because they didn't give the person's name. They didn't identify the suspect's name or any of that. You know what I'm saying? They just identified the victim, which was a black person. So, hey, man, 4 words we usually leave y'all with.
Love, peace, blessings, and maloha.
Wow.
Subscribe to everybody's platform. Subscribe.
That's right.
Don't play with this shit. You don't even know what I gave to this shit. Self-made with this shit. I slay with this shit. Been a lot of roads I done paved with this shit. Look. See, I don't play with this.
Hey, Ray. Hey, Rihanna. Hey, girl, how you doing? I'm into you like Trump's in the Putin. I know that might sound a little confusing. I had to say it for my own amusement. What I'm trying to say is, can we go cruising? Top down, blow some good gas, and listen to Blueprint. Birdies, taking flight, change your life in one night. By 2 a.m. if you do it right. Up late like nigga night. Small fish, big appetite. Get an extra 4 if you whip it right. Got good gas and it's light bright. Got big balls and a good pipe. One calling in sight night.
Shawty bang my line. You can holler at me later. Shawty bang my line. Shawty bang my line. Bang my line. You can holler at me. premises. I bring it back like it's stolen from my nemesis. I bring it back on the store. Around me, almost drown me. It astounds me like the level of deceit when your people try to play you like somebody in the street. Like even when you praise him and you try to see him eat. Not to mention all the shit you did to get him on his feet. Kid of thoughts, 10,000 legs. I know you wish you could, but some can't. I learned from my mistakes and I done felt all the breaks. Learn to cut the grass real fast for the snakes. Learn to give a little bit more than I take. Too many times I score back, break, pump, fake. I got the PayPal, Cash App, Zelle, Chime. Hope you got yours, cause I got mine. I'm talking Payoneer, Netspend, Venmo, Stash. Too many ways for you to run my cash.